On September 15th, 2015, Toby Fox released a little indie game gem that quickly took over the internet. It was known by the name of Undertale. That's right, it's almost been a year since its release. Needless to say, this game was a huge success, skyrocketing Toby Fox to Scott Cawthon levels of fame. Toby Fox developed and composed most of Undertale himself, with the help of a small team. Small so that he can work closely with everything that goes into the game, which took a little more than 2.5 years to complete. Undertale was renowned for quite a few things, one of those things being music. Unlike most developers and producers, Toby Fox created most of the music before working on the rest of the game. Another aspect that stands out is the fact that you can complete the game without killing a single person. Along with the battle system, character development, and multiple endings, this game stood strong and unique among the rest. It's clear that Scott Cawthon has charm coming out of his ass. Or should I say, his Undertale? Please join us on our revisiting of Undertale. The game starts off with you waking up on a bed of flowers and your character gender looking as ambiguous as she can get. Even the character design looks like if Brock from Pokemon finally found some girl blasted from one too many shots and knocked her up. The story starts off with, oh shit, the story, no, go back. Long ago, two races ruled over the earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the two races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. They sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. That's really all you need to know. Anyways, immediately you have your very first encounter with the race of monsters. Flowey. Fuck you. And then Toriel, the sweetest, most genuine, caring, loving, mother-like creature goat lady you will ever come across. Then you fight her. Why, Toriel? Why? Here's where the genius of Toby Fox starts to show, though the player doesn't know it yet. As you probably already know, there are multiple endings. This is where the player has his first crossroad of destiny. To be a true pacifist, to become a truly beautiful human being, and live the rest of your days with sunshine and happiness. Or kill everything. Become a murderer. For the purpose of this video, we'll be following the true pacifist route. Then you run into the very timid and down in the dumps character known as Napstablook. Napstablook uses an art style I haven't seen since The Binding of Isaac, and to some very jazzy type music at that. Then you run into the very iconic characters to the world of Undertale. The no-worries, joke-loving Sans, and the admirable but silly Pipers. At first, these two gave me an impression of what Team Rocket imposes, except funnier and better interactions with the protagonist. But as the game goes on, you realize that they are far more than just reoccurring characters with the same trope for 20 seasons? They are very interesting and purposeful characters you actually build a connection to. This is what, in my opinion, Toby Fox did best. He built a world full of immersion, mostly through characterization alone. Not just some superly graphical and detailed environments, like some game developers think is most important. I mean, think about it, there's not much here visually, save for a few shots of scenery. But we feel like so much is there and a whole world is built from the ground up. Mostly because of these characters. And then here is where we come across first of many dogs of Undertale, the famously catchy name, Doggo. Now, I'm not entirely sure if Undertale was the one who started the whole doggo for dog thing, but it seems like good timing for when it happened. Like I saw on an internet meme once, gaming in 2015 was truly the year of dog. Because let's face it, doggos are better than catos, catas, catatats? See, it's not the same. You meet an ice cream man, go through a few more puzzles, take a piece of the snowman with you, but I always wondered, how do you keep a piece of the snow in your pocket? I mean, you still have it by the end of the game, so you're telling me it hasn't melted at least a little, if not completely? I understand here since it's cold, but in the lava parts of the game, then what? And aren't we underground? How the fuck is it snowing? Still to this day, I don't know the purpose of this, but it's fucking Undertale. I'm getting off track here. Then mostly hilarious scripted puzzles. His, hers. Now these are relationship goals, people. Hashtag, fuck Twitter, I'm out. Lesser doggo. Pet, yes, of course. I don't know why, but that bass line reminded me of Blue's Clues for some reason. And here I present to you the cutest couple in all of gaming, Dogamy and Doggeressa. Oh my god, they're so cute, they're so adorable, oh my god. Are you tired of hearing about dogs yet? Too bad. I personally adore the part where they found out doggos can pet other doggos and their whole world is turned upside down. Don't touch my hot dog? Oh, if this isn't the cutest thing you've seen all week, you need to reevaluate yourself. I hope you all actually played the game, because otherwise that sounded really fucking stupid. Doggo! Holy shit! Then you have your whole ordeal with Piperus. Oh yeah. Fire, spear, cannon, man. Not the doggo, no! You fight him, then you two go on a date. God, I love this game. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about a skeleton dating a little kid. Which, by the way, are you a boy or a girl? They never really clarify that, but I'm sure it's left ambiguous for a reason. These side quests are probably one of my least favorite, but even then, it still has its charm and fun. You can get through it without feeling like it's a chore to do. Teleporting. Explains a lot. Doggo. Oh, I don't know if this bar exists, but if it does, I swear I will find. Ugh. Never mind. Hiya, Shanji. Here's something I didn't notice until I started editing this. This motherfucker Sans over here is trying to charge you to look through this telescope, but when you do, there's nothing but red. And you turn around, it's fucking red all in your eye, you piece of shit motherfucker! Then on to our next character, Undying the Undying. Undying is the leader of the Royal Guard, so you know she doesn't fuck around. Mercy her all you want, you can't reason with her during the fight. Undying is relentless, and she only wants to capture you for the king. Eventually she corners you to a bridge, cuts it down, and makes you fall to your death. Peace. You wake up to garbage and water, and run into this dummy as in training dummy. And coupled with the music, that's a remix version of the fight with everyone's favorite ghost, Napstablook, who, by the way, comes to your rescue. A ghost sandwich? Yeah, sure, I'll try it.
I don't know what I expected.
After a great meal, I like to lie on the ground and feel like garbage. Don't we all? It's a family tradition. Would you like to join me? Yeah, sure. Sounds like fun. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Ah! When I see the snail race, I can't help but to think of the snail race episode from SpongeBob. You know, back when SpongeBob was good. Just end the series, Nick. Here, I could send the gun personally. Then another encounter with Undying. Does the music sound familiar to you, by the way? Undying chases you into the hotlands until she passes out from heat exhaustion. Here is where you have the option of splashing cold water on her face, or be a dick and drink it in front of her. Next up, we meet the royal scientist of the king, Dr. Alphys. She reveals that she created a robot who was built as an entertainer, and is now an unstoppable killing machine with thirst for human blood. Then suddenly, the robot that's now an unstoppable killing machine with the thirst for human blood bursts right into the room Kool-Aid Man style, and the battle with Megaton begins. Megaton does a fun job of keeping you on your toes. For example, in this fight, Megaton quizzes you with questions that's pretty easy if you've been paying attention, like you should, and then hits you up with a question like this. But of course, I get it right because I'm half Asian. Fuck. Damn it! Oh, I know this one. Frog it. Fuck you! Then more puzzles, and what? How did I even get here? Now I'm on a cooking show. Do you see what I mean? Afterwards, you fight two bros who's part of the Royal Guard. The battle starts to heat up, especially for one of them, if you know what I'm saying.
Dude, I can't take this anymore. Not like this. Like, number two, I like you, bro. The way you fight, the way you talk. I love doing team attacks with you. I love standing here with you, bouncing and waving our weapons in sync. Two, want to stay like this forever. Psych, gotcha, bro.
After that is the battle with the spider bitch, Muffet. Who also has her own personalized battle style. An interesting attention to detail here is that if at any point you decide to eat something you bought at the spider bake sale earlier in the game, she will apologize and end the battle early. More Mettaton silliness.
I have to sit through this, just let me go.
And then Sans decides to take you aside to what could possibly be the last conversation between you two. Then the final fight with Mettaton in front of a massive audience. But then Mettaton has a transformation on a level that I can only compare to Frieza. Then finally you come to the House of Asgore, which should look familiar to you, since it's quite similar to Toriel's. Here is where you should start making the connection with who Asgore is and was, along with Toriel, and the history between them. And as you progress, monsters will show up and tell you the story about why Asgore needed a human. You see, the King Asgore was married to the Queen, Toriel, and they both had a child, whose name is Azrael. Then one day a human fell down into the underworld, and they befriended this human. But eventually the human passed away, and it tore them apart. So Azrael brought the human to the surface, where the people assumed that the human was killed by the monster, so they in turn killed the monster, Azrael. It's a very tragic backstory, and it really tugs at the heartstrings. But more importantly, it sets up the motivation and the drive of the main characters and why you're here. But before your showdown with Asgore, you get a very dramatic confrontation with Sans, who plays a bigger part in this than you may know. He reveals that the EXP does not stand for experience, it stands for execution points. And LV doesn't stand for level. Well, it stands for level of violence. Very clever, Toby Fox, very clever. And the encounter that you have with Asgore, the exchange of words before the battle, it gives you a good sense of how tragic the situation is. It gives you the full weight of how heartbreaking this can be. You just can't help but to feel a little teary-eyed, you know? Just the look on his face shows that he's torn apart on the inside, and that he's forsaken himself just to do this. He's doing this for the people he loves, just like how you're doing this so you can go home and see the people that you love. And it really hurts going through this battle. From here, I'm not going to go into the details of the ending. For one, if some reason you never played this game and you're watching this, I refuse to spoil it for you. I refuse! But most of you probably have already played it. 2, there are many endings to Undertale. Well, there's 3 major endings, but a lot of them can vary slightly between each other. To go over them all will require a whole nother video, and I'm sure you can find many videos on YouTube going into depth with different endings far better than I ever could. One thing to point out is in the end you will have a choice of either finding your original family or live with the new friends you made, which to call your family. I know this has a very minor effect on playing the game overall, but I stayed on the screen way longer than I like to admit. It matters, okay? The shit matters. You know that feeling you get when you just finish a series finale or finish reading a good book and you get to that feeling of, oh fuck, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. What am I doing with my life? That's Undertale. This game gets so much right, and if there's anything it gets wrong, I have long forgotten about it. It's just so good. I just made this video just to say how good this shit is. I've probably given the YouTube video for Papyrus' theme song at least 100 views by now. I don't want to rave about the game at the risk of sounding like every other Undertale video to date, but it's good. There is an insane amount of attention to detail that goes a very long way. Some I came across, for example, is when Sans is telling a story about him meeting Toriel for the first time. They were enjoying telling jokes and puns to each other, but it's not explicitly stated that it's her at the time. But a look back towards the beginning of the game in Toriel's diary, it shows that she indeed loves these kind of jokes, confirming this for me. Or say eating certain items in certain battles yields different effects. These may be small things, but it makes the player feels good to piece these small details together like this. I'm serious, I think game developers underestimate this, and things are really shooken up when one character in particular does some fourth wall breaks that are very well done and very well appreciated. Another thing we'll appreciate is the fact that Toby Fox designed the game to have as little grinding and backtracking as possible. You might not have noticed that until you thought about it. The ending is just one big 2-hour climactic orgasm. It's the best way I can describe it. There are just some visuals that has to be seen in order to be appreciated, but no spoiling. Undertale was definitely my game of the year for 2015. Trumping games like Fallout 4, it definitely will always be a classic in my books. I will fucking make my grandkids play this shit. As for anyone like myself who expects a sequel, as of September 2016, we are promised one in the same theme, but it's mostly kept secret by Toby Fox. It is unknown if it will take place after or before the events of Undertale, or maybe not even part of the same universe, but it may take some time before we see any kind of sequel to this game. But you, sir, have a gem, Toby Fox. Take your time. Take your sweet time. Thank you for joining us on our revisiting of Undertale. I've really loved this game when I've played it then and now, and I really wanted to make a video about it, but at the time I wasn't doing YouTube, so I figured now would be the perfect excuse to do it now that it's almost been a year. Anyways, thank you guys if you stayed all the way to this part of the video, because obviously you finished it. And if you liked it, why don't you check out the rest of my channel? Maybe get that little subscribe button, a little touch, a little rubbing action there. Be gentle with it though, it's sensitive. Anyways, and the people that watch my videos regularly, I really want to thank you guys, because it means that you like my content and believe in what I'm doing. And I can't ask for any more than that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.